So, okay, so this is week 4. Can y'all believe that? Like, time is flying.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's a
at
good
all.
thing.
I know.
That's a good thing for y'all trying to finish up, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
true
ready for it
story.
to be over.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, Teresa, I am right there with you. I mean, not that I don't enjoy your class, Dr. Carroll. It's
No, 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 it's perfectly fine. I understand. I understand priorities, honey.
yeah, yeah. But we getting to the end, baby.
yes, yes. I posted today in the Facebook community because I'm the lead for business
Mm-hmm.
this quarter for Facebook on Facebook for the school's Facebook page. And I'm just looking at a lot of people say they don't have experience and stuff. And I'm like, well, there is a class where you can get experience. And I asked the school about it. They said, well, yeah, we announced it, but I don't think people just want to do their classes, don't want to do any electives. But for those people who have some electives left, that is a perfect class for them. Not this class. This class is great because it's on managing project teams. But I thought about this class and I said, from my class managing project teams, next quarter, I'm teaching this other class called Business 399, which is I'm choosing a company that the class will work on a project for. And it's getting real experience. So for those that are not working, that don't have that experience, if you're listening to this and you want some experience and you have an elective left, you may want to check out Business 399.
Oh, I would love that. 399.
Yeah, I think that the class here, the students in this class would be great for that class because you have to manage a project. And so, yeah. And so I've looked at like 8 clients so far, and they're all over the world.
399.
So I think that's nice. I don't think everybody knows what the school has to offer. So some kind of way I want to use that Facebook page to announce that or to kind of go over that because I can see how the things pull together. But at any rate, as I have been doing, usually the first post of the week, I add a little special touch. I do a video back to the response to the person in all of my classes. And today what I did, I acted as a consultant and gave some consultative advice.
Okay.
So if you guys happen to post or not, if you haven't posted yet, and you look out there and you see the post that I responded to, you'll kind of see what I did there. And then I will do it again for tomorrow's post. If people post tomorrow, I will add my more detailed response. I can't do it for everybody, especially when most of the student posts on Sunday. So it makes it hard for me to try to reply to everybody on Sunday with, a creative mind, because there's so much going at one time. And so I see that. I know some people say I can't post to Sunday, so I understand that because you got your schedule down packed and count on how things work for you. But for those of you that's able to post earlier in the week, you may get a surprise from me, something more detailed that can take things a little bit farther. I know in one of my classes, they were talking to me about their passion. I have this class called leadership class. And their leadership and how they lead. And they were talking to me about their passion. They're supposed to be on this call with you guys tonight. But I posted, a lot of them talked about what they wanted to do. So I've dived into some career coaching, some coaching on entrepreneurship and all that. So it was, it's been a long day. I guess that's why, Teresa, I lost that file. I was telling Teresa before you came on, Tarana, I lost the file. It had 13 poems in it and I lost it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am here. I am on my lunch break. So I'm having coffee and lunch with you.
You go.
So sometimes you're gonna see me mute out just so that y'all don't hear all of my
No, that's
mess.
great. I saw your smile. Thank you. You're responding. So any questions, you can type it in the chat, guys. If you have some questions you have for me tonight, we are coming up on week 6, we'll have our first writing assignment. And but other than that
was mine.
Yeah. Other than that, for right now, we're doing, I post on tomorrow, I'm going to post a sample. I mean, I'm going to go over week 6 assignment. We only have
Oh,
2 writing
perfect.
assignments. What were
Yeah,
you saying?
I just went into that today because on that same topic, I have gotten behind the last couple of weeks, and I'm trying to get on up front, because when that paper is due, I have another event that same
Okay.
weekend. So
Mhm.
I printed everything out just so that I can look at it, the case study. So I do want any feedback or information you have about that. It does talk about competencies. It sounds like, I mean, I only read part of it, but it sounds like we're evaluating the project manager that was placed on that case.
Mhm.
So are
Yes.
we to answer those 2 questions plus the 3 questions that you had asked in the prompt? Is that correct in the
It's
paper?
on that paper. Yeah, it says, I'm sending you guys the whole, if you went in there on week 6, I think you
Mm-hmm.
week 6 today.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are.
Those questions there are the questions you're answering. And they're very simple questions. It's like, what's missing? And I give you I gave an outline at the beginning of the class about the various thing a project manager needs, skill
Mm-hmm.
sets. And I send it back out tomorrow with a video on
Okay, good.
the various things. So tomorrow morning we'll post a video that talks about that same thing. And you're talking about the key skill sets of the people that's
Yes,
needed. And
yes.
I think you're in this assignment, you're comparing your skill sets to those and talking about what skill sets you have as a project lead. I think, I
Oh.
think if it's not this assignment, it's the following one, week 10.
No. I think the next one, the one that's
Okay,
in 10, hold on, because I was looking at it today. Let me get it.
good for you. I like that. I like that looking ahead.
Well, I have to. I've been behind. Hold on,
Well,
where is my calendar?
yeah, I was talking to my daughter this morning, and this is her last quarter, and she goes to Strayer as well,
Oh, okay.
and she's pregnant,
Oh,
and
bless her.
this is her second trimester, and after she'll be going into her 3rd trimester after the end of next month,
Oh,
February. And so I said, you need to go ahead and work ahead because
oh yeah.
you have a baby in 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And her baby is pretty active and giving her a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you need to go ahead and work ahead as much as possible. Take that course syllabus and at least your papers, go ahead and knock those out. And that just
So
leaves you with discussion books.
this one has described the 3 key skills or competencies that Herb, the project manager, could improve to be more effective in managing team's performance on future projects in the organization. Provide your rationale. Describe 3 skills or competencies that Herb. So it's about Herb this time, but the one that's due on the
Week
end of the week
10.
is the 12th.
Yeah.
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 That one is, I think that's the one you're talking about with what we have.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the week 10. It is to identify current business world. Mapping a project team is commonplace. This assignment will use John Wooden's pyramid of success. Its different facets and how it relates to leading and managing project teams. The pyramid interaction works best with blah, blah, blah. You'll also refer back to communication failures case.
Right.
Right,
In
5 to 7
this case.
paper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so for that paper, I'm going to send you a leadership assessment for yourself as well.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah. So I will send you guys the link to that, and you'll be able to take that, and it'll give you some more insights into yourselves and how you look at it. I'll also send you John Wooden's pyramid, and you'll get to see that. So I didn't want to
Okay,
confuse it. I usually send both a video out on both assignments
okay.
earlier for people, but I don't know. I know I'm sending the one on this next assignment on tomorrow. So, but if you guys have any questions before that, please reach out to me. sometimes I provide a sample paper, but sometimes that goes a little bit too far and people copy too much. So I don't want to create that. I just wanted to, the whole reason for a sample paper is to give you some idea as to how to approach the assignment.
Okay.
Yeah, sample papers are really good. Yeah, and people shouldn't take it and plagiarize it, but
Right.
it is very helpful. So we appreciate it because
Yeah.
sometimes we just don't know exactly what the professor is looking for. So the sample kind of helps you guide you sometimes a little
Okay.
better
Well, I
with
will
the
do
prompts.
that. I will do I will send you guys the sample paper. Share that with you as far as what I'm looking for there. So I'll post that tomorrow as well. And give you some insights on what to do, but please don't, it's already in my database, so don't
Try it.
don't try it, because they'll have you in the disciplinary office.
And we're too far for that, and we're too far. We're at the end to go back and do something like that.
I know, isn't that truth? Isn't that the truth?
We're at the end, so you definitely don't want to jeopardize what you've already worked so hard for. So.
And I tell people, it's okay to give your own thoughts and words. I love it when I'm seeing the students, when they speak from their heart, their experience and stuff. It's amazing. And I think some people just think, I'm tired, I can't write, I don't know how to do this, but you can write. It's like you're having a conversation. Use your papers like you're having a conversation with somebody. The person just not talking back to you right now, but use
Right.
the paper as this is a conversation piece. And a lot of tools that I use to get things done so fast. I use my notes section, but save, because that's where I lost my stuff from the poems. I lost it there. But also use the, when you do the notes, or you can just go into the Word document itself and use the dictation feature. Notes and dictation both take, you're talking to it, and then you can come back and clean it up with Grammarly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's a
use the
great
dictation.
idea. I've never thought about using dictation.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
I
great.
am a fiend of that one. It's so helpful.
I'm gonna try that. That would be so amazing.
yes.
Because sometimes you just don't know. Like I tried to write from an outline, and an
Mhm.
outline is hard because I feel like I'm just repeating myself.
But use the outline because you want to restate the question.
Mhm.
And then when you restate the question in your own words or some kind of way, then you can go into making sure you answer each component of that question. Because
Right.
people leave off the question. See, and I have tools which you all don't recognize. I don't know if other teachers, but I have tools that lets me know exactly if you answered every question.
Okay.
And so I take that into my own bot that I built, and it tells me, did they answer the question? Did they not answer the question? So sometimes in the first couple of weeks, I'll just go ahead and move on with you guys. But then I'll send certain people notes to say, nah, we don't want to try that anymore. let's try something else. And of course, the school has plagiarism software that tells us if it came from somewhere else. So it has that. But I know how it is. When you get tired, I've been there. And still there sometimes when I take my classes, I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't know what I'm doing here today. Just take this. But it has helped me, and I do to do my work that way. Plus, I had to find out when I had my writing mojo on, meaning when I was best at writing something that I had to critically think about. Just talking everyday average, that's any time of the day. But to really get something out of me that I put a lot of thought in, for me, first thing in the morning was it, after I do my prayer and meditation. And it seems like I could, and when it's really quiet, for me, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. Some people don't get up that early. That I get up at 4:30 before anybody else, before my phone starts ringing and all that. And I do my prayer, my meditation, my writing, my exercise. I have to get it all in. And by 8:30, it's all done. And then the phone starts ringing off the hook. And so I've had it that way because I'm usually having a business, having employees and stuff, they can't wait for me to answer them all the time. And then I have an older mother, she can't wait. And now having a daughter that's pregnant, she can't wait. So it's a lot of competing priorities. Like many of the other students, I'm no different than you guys. So I have to find a way to work through those competing priorities. Now I go to bed real early. That's why I'm having this tea now. I'm having this tea because by the time I get off my second call tonight, I will be like ready to go to bed. So that'll be the end of the day. But do you guys have any specific questions?
Not at the moment. I was just starting to read this week's chapter earlier. I'm trying to get an early start on the week and not post on Sunday night. So,
Oh yeah, because
and since I'm
Sunday,
working and I got a
I'm
chance
right
to
there
work
with
from
you,
home
Teresa.
today, it's been a little easier. So I started reading instead of taking my usual nap when I get off from work.
I understand. I certainly understand. I know what you mean. You just got to get it in when you can.
So I'm
Yeah.
starting earlier. So far, so good. No,
That's
I didn't have any questions, but I'd love to, if the professor is offering a live session, I think I crave that here at Strayer because not all
Yeah.
professors do live
Mhm.
sessions where you can pop
Mhm.
on and ask questions, and sometimes it takes a minute to get a response back on email. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I try to answer emails within 24 hours. And sometimes, I mean, it's soon, depends on, now I got to update my phone with the right link, because I just took that off, because I had to turn everything off one day. I'm like, okay, it's too much. Turn it off, turn it all off, put it away, put it somewhere else.
Mm.
And I know my kids, I just told them, listen, I'm going off the grid for a minute.
Oh, wow.
Call the backup contact if you need something, because I'm going off the grid.
And sometimes you need to do it. Sometimes you need to do it. So
Yes, yes, yes.
You
And
have to.
so, mhm. And I'm learning that I'm more relaxed, especially having all the responsibilities that I have right now, even at Strayer, more than being a professor, I do the Facebook play thing, and that requires every day. And then my own social media posts, I have to create things and work with my team on that. I have somebody to post, but I have to create. And then my writing, I have a book this I'm working on. I have other things I'm working on a movie strip. I'm just like, okay, this is a lot. I gotta chill. Lots of vitamins in there, guys. Lots of vitamins.
amazing. You amazing. Yeah, that sounds like yeah,
It's a lot.
it's a
It's
lot.
a lot.
That's amazing. Movie strip. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
keep
been.
us posted on your movie so we can
I
look out for the script.
I will. I will. It's based on being a professor. So we'll see. I'm hoping that it really gets picked up by the right people and the right production crew and all of that. So whew. It'll be amazing. So I like comedy. So I don't know. They may tell me something else, but we'll see.
I did have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was going through last week's reading and things, and I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on.
Mhm.
When I was going through last week's reading, it was a lot of really good information. So thank you when it talked about like group emotion and leading the team through that. But because I've had, experiences where, and just to be really candid, I have had experiences where I have managed teams before. And to be honest, I don't think I was ready for that team. It was a new industry for me, a new environment for me. I underestimated just really where I was in like a grieving process. Like I had transferred jobs. I really was not in the right position, mind frame to really help this group.
Mhm.
But what I really was wondering while I was reading, it was talking about impacting group emotion, um, impression management, and influence. And I really
Mhm.
wanted to hear just a little bit more specifics how you would go about, because I don't know if I believe, and that's half of it, but I don't know if I believe that I can change a team's emotional state. Can you talk a little bit about the steps and like maybe some key tools that you've used in the past to kind of, oh, that picture, go ahead, Ms. Carroll. Come on, play the shot. Okay. But can you talk a little bit about that? Because I felt like I wanted to delve a little deeper into that.
Okay. Well, managing teams, and you said the one you wanted to talk about was impression.
Yes, ma'am. When it talked about um, the impact of group emotion and how to create an impact on group emotion, because just for me, in my experience, I had come in leading a team in a whole new industry. I had level 3 associates underneath of me, so they all had been with the company for years and years and years, very tenured um, employees, and they were resolution managers, and the training that they gave to incoming managers didn't meet the level of their experience. So, I found it difficult to, one, build that trust with them. I found it difficult to get the respect for my position, because they were of the impression, you can't help me. But anytime they had an escalated customer, I had no problems helping them. Customer service is customer service. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. What kind of team was it? What kind of
It was
industry?
it was a call center at low impact, high structure. Um, they were really, I mean, it was my first experience in call centers as well. So they were micromanaged to the moment. Like every bit of their day was scheduled. Um, it was a change environment for the company too. So the company had gone through transitions. They had seen team leaders come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they were really resistant to the change that the company was trying to make, first
Mm.
of all. And then, they brought in team leaders that were on the side of the new leadership that came in, that most of these people were like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it just really was hard to build a bond with them.
Well, that was
I
going to
mean,
be hard anyway, because not only it was so much change there, you were managing change and
exactly.
trying to be the manager, in a new environment as well. That was difficult.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, beyond the fact that I was set up for failure, in my personal opinion, and not just me, just any manager that they brought in was going to be set up for failure if you followed what the directive was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wonder, and I always go back to that, like in all of my classes and all of the information that we learn, I always go back to like, what could I have done differently? Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So that kind of really was why I wanted to get your feedback.
Okay. Well, here are a few things that I would say about this. First of all, managing change can be challenging, but it's essential, really, part of your role as a manager. But here are a few strategies that I think could help communicating effectively. By that, I mean clearly communicating the reasons for the change, the expected outcomes, and how the change will be implemented. Because as you stated, there was a lot of change going on there. Involving the employees in it, encouraging them to participate, and engagement in the change process is really crucial. Um, by doing this, you can really help build buy-in and commitment to the change. Providing support, like if you provide the employees with the resources, training, and support they need to adjust to that change that's coming about, even though it's going to be difficult because you're new to the situation and you're not sure it's exactly what they're having to change from. Addressing the resistance, you have to address resistance. And by doing that, you're being prepared for the resistance to the change and addressing it constructively. Listen to the employees' concerns and address their fears, and really provide them with the necessary information to ease their worries. And then always lead by example. As a manager, we must lead by example and demonstrate a positive attitude towards the change, while always thinking about celebrating successes. And we do that by recognizing and celebrating the success of the team, even little small successes along the way. And that by doing that, it will help to maintain momentum and motivation for the team. And then you have to continuously monitor and evaluate the change process and ensure that it's on track and make adjustments as needed. And I think that when you implement these changes, they can help to minimize the resistance to the change and increase the chances of a successful transition. Now, it's important to remember that change is a process, and guys, it takes time. So be patient and persistent. Now, going back to building trust and respect on a new team that's call center specifically, I would say that it's really crucial for creating a positive and productive work environment in call centers. I once managed responsible for a call center, but the direct management was a person that worked under me. So I had to work with that. And a few things that I learned along the way was leading by example again, which is a great part of change. And as a manager, we set the tone for the team by being trustworthy and respectful to yourself as well as them. And transparency, especially with the various generations that's working in a team, is so crucial. Gen X and Gen Z, the millennials, they need more transparency in the management process. The boomers, they understand what's going on, that you're not going to hear everything. They're there to get their work done and move on. But boomers have something more invested interest a lot of times in the company than the others, because boomers, if they've been around a long time at that company, they're more than likely receiving some type of retirement. Whereas the X's, those below them, the Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z are not. Show that you're committed to the team's success and that you value each member's contributions. Encourage open communication. Now, encourage the team members to share their ideas and concerns openly and make sure everyone feels heard and respected. Foster a sense of community, and you can do that by creating communities or creating opportunities for the team members to bond and get to know one another, such as a team building exercise or regular social events. Social events matter. Even if people have to be distanced, and a lot of call centers now, the people work out of their homes and answer the calls, but you can still build a sense of community around that with some trivial games and things of that nature, sending them treats to their home, things like that. Those are just great, like cookie or something. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do.
Okay. Those are helpful. Those are helpful topics. I definitely think, just in self-reflection, I definitely think I was not in a mental state. Like, I don't think I was a good example, not all the time, but, it got to the point, like they were senior to the point where it was like, we know how to skirt the system. We're not interested in doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, this is my playtime that I've logged in for, my 8 hours that I've logged in for. So,
I had that conversation. I wrote about it on LinkedIn. If you're all not hooked into LinkedIn, you may want to check it out. I do a career article in there.
Okay.
But on LinkedIn, I wrote about the raging applying. So they're raging by, so let me back up a little bit. I had the opportunity this weekend to spend time with Gen Z and millennials.
Mhm.
And their response to me about things about the quiet quitting,
Uh-huh.
raging applying, meaning they're just go and apply for as many things as possible
Uh-huh.
and see where they're going to land because they're out to get more money. And the
Yeah.
quiet quitting is this. So when you have a millennial that says, I'm going to work for what the boomer can do in an hour, I mean, in 8 hours, I can do in 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their mindset. So if
Right.
you're paying me for an 8-hour day, you're paying me for so much work to be completed in 8 hours, and I do that in an hour, I'm not doing anymore after that hour.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they're watching everybody and they're seeing what's going on. And I get these calls a lot of times from different managers telling me I can't get them to work. Well, you can't get them to work because they're looking at some other things. You got to create balance. And you just can't fire people because they're older. You have to really be able to manage people now. Management is an art.
Yeah.
And everybody can't do it. Because the first thing many employees say is, well, Marilyn's not doing it, so why should I do it?
Yeah.
If you
I
pay
know that
Marilyn
answer.
for 8 hours of work and she only does this much, and I do way more than her in an hour, then
Yeah.
you need to pay me more. You need to pay me like you do piecemeal work almost. They don't use that term. I know piecemeal work. I know that if I produce piecemeal, you have to produce so many widgets in an hour. But this is
Yeah.
not a production studio or production line. This is a service related line. And
Correct.
so it becomes hard to do something like that. And I can answer so many calls on customer service, but some people like to hold you up on customer service calls and you can't get them off the call just that fast. Some people
Correct.
may, if I get a lot of boomers calling me, boomers are not going to get off the phone that quick because they love talking.
Correct. Very much so. And I have to say, like, I have had a chance to leave the industry and come back from a different aspect. And I can see where they're valid concerns, but still, when you sign on for a job, you sign on for a job. Like, as much as it's annoying, as much as it, but I know that that is my generation thought process. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, again, because they understand technology, they know how to get their job done much faster.
right.
They, meaning millennials and Xers as well. I mean, some Xers. I'm an Xer.
I'm an Xer, I think. Xer is 70, like right after, right before
60,
80s, right?
65 to 78, I think it is. 79,
Yeah.
78, 79. Yeah.
I'm an Xer with a little bit of millennial in me. Like, for me, if I can automate everything, I would.
Yes, yes. And so that's me. I mean, I'm not an Xer with a lot of, I was actually born in 64. I don't consider myself a boomer. That's the end of the boomer age. I consider myself an Xer. I'm more like an Xer than anything.
Exactly.
Because my mindset, and if you do some of the charts, some say the 60s through the 80s were Xers. And I agree with that. And then I would say the
Yeah.
80s through 2000s was the millennials, and 2000 and beyond are the others. So I don't agree. I go with the whole number because I have to look at that, because I perceive that I have no thought process of the others. I never did, even when I was working and I had to get up out of Dodge, because I thought like, hey, I should be able to work from home because I'm managing. I'm not here with them every day. The managers can talk to me. They have a lot of
Exactly.
responsibility. They're making 6 figures. They're reporting to me. Why should I be in their face all the time? I need to be somewhere secure at home, especially after 9/11 happened. I was certainly saying, you can't have all these leaders that know all this information at the job. Yeah. So we got into a deep conversation there. I'm sorry.
No, I know. But that is, I think, going to be my biggest challenge, like getting back into the management role, because I feel like sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forward, right? And I know that for me, it just what I was not in my, I had a death in my family. I had a change of career that I'd worked in for 20, I worked in retail industry for in brick and mortar stores for 25 years. But everything happens for a reason. Like I got out before September 11th, or not September 11th. Good Lord.
Mhm. I understand.
2020. So everything happens for a reason. And so I feel I'm building my confidence, but I still am going to feel triggered or challenged when it comes to managing emotions of teammates that I don't, see eye to eye. You know how we were talking about like reverent power and stuff like that? Like
Yes.
we don't think the same. We don't, and I feel like,
You have to go somewhere where it's a balance in the middle, but that's why you have to listen to each of the people. And gone are the days when you can manage people everyone the same way. Gone are the days
correct.
when you can teach everybody the same way. I mean, anything where you're leading, whether it's in the classroom, on a job, or wherever, that has totally changed.
Yeah. And I think the leadership aspect that you had created a differential, and the book does too, a really good job of like between leading and managing. I am so stuck in the management and, not really or I hadn't placed value on the leadership aspect of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Well,
want
so
you to
in
do it this way.
right. And processing jobs is managing jobs. That's a
Correct.
management role.
Yeah.
But when you have service related and higher order thinking roles, your job is to lead, and
Yep.
you lead by influencing. And so there is a big difference in the type of leadership that you have to practice
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
But good,
Go ahead.
good
Because I
point. You
think you
bring
were
up some
thinking.
great points. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to really kind of get your thoughts around that. I apologize for taking up all the time.
No,
Sorry,
no, no. I
Teresa.
hope I
No,
hope we
it's
were
fine.
helpful.
Yeah, it was great conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a personal challenge for me. I know. So that $3.99 class you were talking about, I think I know that I'm off once I do my, what is the class that they talk about? Is it your last class? What's that called, Teresa?
$4.99. The capstone course, $4.99.
Yeah. Yes. When I do, I'm going to have an odd number of classes. So I might do that while I'm doing my capstone. Would you
I would
recommend that?
I definitely would recommend that, because you're
Okay.
working with a team, and if you don't have any experiencing managing projects,
Mhm.
I would definitely say come on board. And if I'm not the teacher, somebody will be the teacher, but make it known that you're there for that. But if I'm
Okay.
there, I would be putting my project team managers in the forefront there as
Okay.
project leads wherever possible, because I want to see that your degree is paying off in that way. And just like if it's a marketing person and we're working on a marketing project, still my project team would be my project team, and my marketing person would lead the marketing portion of that.
Okay.
Whereas the others in the class, depends on what degree they're doing, from a management or whatever, what the concentration is. That's how
So
I
it's going
would.
to be customizable, not kind of like, how our class is like, this is the topic, this is the homework, this is the discussion. It'll be more
Oh, no,
customized, you think?
no. It's based on what the client needs. It's real work.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it is real work. And like I said, we have it in undergrad, and then we've been trying to build a grad course in it, but people won't take it as an elective. It's
Gotcha.
only elective. So, and it's just like some of the other schools that teach this, the brick and mortar schools, they have
Mhm.
classes like this as well. But it's not part of our curriculum that you have to take. Like I said,
Okay.
if you have electives left, or you have room to say, I want to take another course, you can take it. I
Okay.
remember
Well,
when I was getting my PhD, they had this writing course. I hated writing, guys. And
I
it's
still
amazing
do.
how much I write now, but I hated writing. And so I paid, I don't know, it's $2,500 to $3,000, which is a lot of money 10 years ago.
A lot of
And
money now. That's a lot of money at any time. That's Carol.
Yes. Well, I paid that money. And when I paid the money, I ended up spending 1 week in class. I had to buy my own dinner. Lunch came with it. And we had some, like a muffin and juice and coffee. That was included in the price. But dinner you had to buy every day yourself. And anyway, I loved the class. I wrote so much. I was going to get my money's worth because I had to disengage from everything. But I can tell you I learned how to write.
Okay.
I wrote my part of my dissertation while I was there. And I think that was the reason why it was supposed to take me at least at the low end 3 years, at the high end 6 years to complete my dissertation, my PhD. And I completed my PhD in less than 2.5 years.
Come on with it.
But I can honestly tell you it was due to me spending that extra money to spend time with like-minded people that wanted to finish, that wanted to study. And oh, we lost somebody. Oh, that's you again.
No, it's me. I'm on the move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told y'all I'm on my lunch break. I'm multitasking.
Okay. But yeah, that's how I was able to do it. And otherwise, I think it would have taken me longer because my papers would have kept coming back to me, marked up all kinds of ways. And I was able to focus on my ideas, and the group that I was able to get with, we're still friends to this day. I think it was about 30 of us that decided to take the class, and all 30 of us just finished. And that's how I got my first teaching job, because one of the 30 was in that room, and she opened the doors for me. I taught at Ohio State University in Western Ohio. And that's how I got my first teaching job. Making connections.
That's amazing.
Yep, you got to make connections, guys. And that's why I keep telling you guys, there's some awesome people that go to Strayer. They have great leadership roles and stuff. They're just here to get their degree because they need it to keep moving up the chain of command or to remain competitive where they are. So you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah, that'll be my biggest
that I want
takeaway
to
from
do
your class.
I keep saying that I want to connect with the career builder because it looks like it's amazing what Strayer has. I think I've kind of dazzled in there a little bit, but between studies and trying to stay abreast with things, I just haven't had the time to really go in there and look. But it did seem pretty interesting of what's, the wealth of information that's in there and the connections that you can make through Strayer career. So I definitely want to look back into it.
Yeah, check that out. But okay, well, I have to, ladies, get ready for my next call.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Carroll.
It was
Thank
great.
you so much.
I think we had a great conversation here. So this one here, instead of just sending it by Zoom, I'm going to put it on YouTube, put it there, put the recording there, and then add the notes so that y'all can have it, would have that.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care, ladies.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.